Most people think that if you want to grow your own fruit, you need to have a big yard with lots of land. Wrong. I'm about to tell you about 10 fruit trees that will grow happily in pots on your balcony and produce so much fruit you'll have to give some away to the neighbors. Don't go away because the seventh tree will pay for itself in less than a year. And at the end, there's a little trick so simple you'll slap your knee, but it works like magic. Hey, dear gardening friends. If you've been here before, welcome back like an old friend. If you're new here, that's great because you just found the most money-saving gardening channel on YouTube. Today we're talking about something that truly changed the way I grow fruit trees in pots. And I'm not just saying something boring like, just plant a lemon tree. Before we start, do me a favor. If you really want to grow your own vegetables and fruit without spending a fortune, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I post a new video every week to help you save money and grow better. All right, let's get started. Number 10, pomegranate. Forget to water it. It won't hold a grudge. Pomegranate in a pot sounds pretty fancy, right? But here is the thing. This plant is as tough as an old cowboy. I am talking about dwarf varieties like Nana or State Fair. They grow beautifully in pots. They're tough as nails. Pomegranate roots don't run wild like other fruit trees. They behave themselves. All you need is a container of 15 to 20 gallons. And you can get these containers for almost nothing. Just go to a restaurant or a bakery and ask, "Do you have any big food grade buckets?" Most of the time they'll say, "Take them. They're free." These potted pomegranates produce fruit just as good as the ones grown in the ground, deep, red, sweet, and juicy. Once the tree is established, one tree can produce 15 to 30 pomegranates in a single season at supermarket prices. You'll save at least $50 to $75 a year, and that is a conservative estimate. What I love most is this. Once a pomegranate tree is settled in, forget to water it. It forgives you. Thirsty for a few days. Busy people, beginners, people with bad memories, this tree is for you. Number 9, fig. The more cramped, the happier it is. Figs are interesting. Most people don't know that figs actually like to be a little cramped. When you put a fig tree in a pot, it gets happier, produces fruit earlier, and gives you more fruit. Look for varieties like Little Black Miss or Chicago Hardy. These are specially bred to produce big harvests in small spaces. I've seen a single potted fig tree produce over 100 fruits in one season. I am not kidding. Here is the best part. Figs produce fruit on new branches that grow that same year. What does that mean? Even if you live in a very cold place and the branches freeze in winter, the next spring new branches grow, and you still get fruit. Most fruit trees can't do that. Here is a trick that will make you look like an old pro during the fruiting season. Let the soil dry out just a little between waterings. Give the tree a little stress. This makes the sugar more concentrated, and the figs taste like candy, and you grew them yourself. Fresh figs at the supermarket, even if you can find good ones, cost $6 to $8 for a small box. The figs you grow in your pot taste so much better that the supermarket ones feel like cardboard. Number 8, blueberry. Don't blame the plant. You just didn't understand it. Blueberries are one of the most rewarding berries you can grow, but most people fail at growing them for one simple reason. They don't know that blueberries are picky eaters. Blueberries need acidic soil with a pH between 4.5 and 5.5. Regular potting soil is not acidic enough, but when you grow in a pot, you are the boss of the soil. You mix your own, mix regular potting soil with some peat moss, or just buy soil made for rhododendrons and azaleas. Do that, and you'll grow blueberries better than commercial farms. Look for varieties like Top Hat or Peach Sorbet. They grow less than 3 feet tall. Their fall colors are beautiful, and they produce lots of fruit. One mature potted blueberry bush can produce 3 to 5 pounds of blueberries in a season. Have you seen blueberry prices lately? Organic blueberries are $5 to $7 a pound. Do the math. One plant pays for itself in the first year. Here is another reason blueberries are great for pots. You can move them around, not enough sun. Move it, late frost coming. Move it closer to the house, soil problem. You are growing in a pot, not trying to fix a whole garden. That kind of freedom is priceless. Number 7, lemon tree, your own little supermarket. Everyone has heard of Meyer lemons in pots, but let me tell you why they're so good and why they're number 7. Right in the middle because they truly deserve it. Meyer lemons are naturally semi-dwarf. More importantly, they produce fruit all year long. That means on the same tree you have flowers, tiny green fruits, and ripe yellow fruits all at the same time. It is like having a little supermarket in one pot. One mature Meyer lemon tree can produce 50 to 100 lemons a year. At the store, one lemon costs $1.50. You do the math. But here is something almost no one mentioned. Potted lemon trees are easier to keep alive than in ground trees because you control everything. Too cold, bring it inside and put it by a sunny window. Got bugs? Isolate and treat just that one pot. Soil problem, you chose what went into that pot. Let me tell you a money-saving tip right now. You don't need expensive citrus fertilizer. A good, balanced organic fertilizer is plenty. During the growing season, I use fish fertilizer every 2 weeks. It costs me less than $15 a year, and my lemon tree is loaded with fruit. Just the fragrance when the tree blooms is worth it. Your whole patio will smell like a lemon grove, and squeezing a glass of lemonade from your own lemons. That feeling is just wonderful. Pause for a moment. If you find this helpful, give me a thumbs up. It really helps the channel reach more people who want to grow their own food. Leave a comment and tell me which tree you are most excited about. I read every comment, and I love chatting with you. All right, let's keep going. The next ones are even better. Number 6, dwarf peach tree. Tree ripe peaches with juice running down your chin. A peach tree in a pot sounds like a dream, right? But varieties like Bonanza or El Dorado are bred specifically for containers, and they do wonderfully. These trees grow about 5 to 6 feet tall. They self-pollinate, and they produce full-sized peaches that taste better than anything you can buy at the store. That is why number 6 is such a big deal. Stone fruits like peaches used to be considered difficult, but potted peach trees have thrown that idea in the trash. You can protect them from late frosts. You can control their environment. If you are worried about birds, you can easily throw a net over them. Try doing that with a 15-foot tree in your yard. It'll wear you out. One dwarf peach tree can produce 20 to 40 full-sized juicy peaches each season. Organic peaches at the store cost about $3 to $4 a pound. But it is not about the money. It is about the taste store. Bought peaches are picked before they're ripe so they can survive shipping. Your peaches ripen fully on the tree. When you bite into a tree-ripe peach you grew yourself and the juice runs down your chin. That is what life is all about. Here is the trick for peaches. Thin the fruit. When you see little baby peaches forming, pull off about half of them. It sounds wrong, but it works. The remaining peaches grow bigger, sweeter, and the tree stays healthier. It is one of those things that feels wrong but works like magic. Number 5, cherry. No ladder needed, and no birds. Dwarf cherries, especially varieties like Romeo or Juliet, are amazing for containers. Cherries can be a little tricky, but these pie cherry varieties are very reliable. To be honest, I prefer eating them fresh. What is special about growing cherries in pots is that you can solve the biggest problem cherry growers face, birds. When your cherry tree is on your patio, in a pot, you can throw a bird net over it in 5 minutes. Try doing that with a 20-foot tree in your yard. You can't. A mature potted cherry tree can produce 10 to 15 pounds of fruit per season. That is plenty to eat fresh, bake a pie, make jam, and still have some left to freeze. Store-bought cherries are ridiculously expensive even in season. They're often $8 to $10 a pound. Your potted tree will produce over $100 worth of cherries every year. And here is something beautiful about cherries. They bloom early and they bloom heavily. Pink and white clouds of flowers. Before you even get fruit, the tree gives you this amazing show. It is beautiful and useful at the same time. Even your neighbors who don't garden will be impressed. Number 4. Apple tree grows like a pole. Doesn't take up space. Columnar apple trees look like something out of a science fiction movie. They grow straight up with almost no side branches. They're perfect for pots because they reach about 8 to 10 feet tall, but only about 2 feet wide. Look for varieties like North Pole or Golden Sentinel. Here is what is amazing about columnar apple trees. They produce full-sized apples on a tree that takes up no more space than a small bush. You can put 3 or 4 of these on a small balcony and have fresh apples from late summer all the way through fall. Each tree produces about 15 to 25 apples per season. And I am talking about crisp, juicy, real apples, not some weird little things. Here is a different kind. Apples store well. You pick your apples in September and October, store them in a cool place, and you can keep eating fresh apples into December and even January. Organic apples cost about $3 to $4 a pound. Your columnar apple tree will save you money for months, not just weeks. And here is something important. Apples in containers are easier to keep pest-free. You can inspect every inch of a small tree. You can catch problems early. Compare that to a full-sized apple tree where you can't even see the top branches. Number 3, strawberry. Not a tree, but produces like crazy. Strictly speaking, strawberries are not trees. But stick with me because this might be the most productive thing you can grow in a pot. Ever-bearing strawberries in a container are fruit-producing machines. They absolutely deserve this number 3 spot. They produce fruit quickly, within a few months of planting, and they keep producing from late spring all the way through fall. One well-maintained pot with 6 to 8 strawberry plants will give you fresh strawberries almost every day during peak season. I am talking about a ton of fruit from a plant that takes up no more space than a regular flower pot. Store-bought strawberries are insanely expensive. Even in season, they're $5 to $7 a pound. Your potted strawberries are bred for flavor, picked at perfect ripeness and eaten within minutes. The difference in taste is shocking. Once you've tasted homegrown strawberries, store-bought ones almost feel like a joke. Here is the beauty of potted strawberries. They keep renewing themselves. As the old plants fade, you replace them with the runners, the little baby plants, from your best plants. It is a self-sustaining system. Once it is set up, it costs you almost nothing. You can even stack your containers vertically, use hanging baskets, or build a strawberry tower. The space efficiency is unbeatable. Number 2, avocado. Wait a few years, then enjoy for decades. At this point, some people think I am crazy, but hear me out. Dwarf avocado varieties like Wurtz or Little Cado can absolutely produce fruit in containers. And when they do, you'll be harvesting avocados that cost $5 to $8 each at the supermarket. One mature avocado tree can produce 20 to 30 avocados per year. Yes, avocados require patience. You'll wait 3 to 4 years for a big harvest. But here is the thing. You are going to grow something anyway. Which sounds better, waiting a few years or buying avocados forever. The secrets to growing avocados in pots are good drainage and patience. Use a well-draining potting mix, don't overwater, and give them time. These dwarf varieties are self-pollinating, meaning you only need one tree. You need a good tree, the right conditions, and patience. The reason avocados are number 2 is the payoff. Once your avocado tree starts producing, you'll have free, fully ripe, organic avocados for decades. A potted tree can live and produce for over 20 years. Do the math, even a conservative estimate. One avocado tree can produce thousands of dollars worth of avocados over its lifetime. And because it is in a container, when a cold snap hits, you can bring it indoors. That kind of flexibility means people in areas that technically shouldn't grow avocados can still grow them successfully. Number 1. Banana, the champion you never expected. This might surprise you, but dwarf banana trees are the best fruit trees for pots, and here is why. Bananas like dwarf Cavendish or super dwarf produce full-size bananas in pots, and they grow faster than almost anything else on this list. Strictly speaking, bananas are not trees. They're herbaceous perennials, but who cares? One potted banana plant can produce 50 to 100 bananas in a single growing cycle, and the cycle is relatively short. You'll see results in 18 months to 2 years, and then it keeps going. This is why bananas are number one. The price is ridiculous. Organic bananas are about 80 cents to $1 per pound, and a single bunch from your plant can weigh 20 to 40 pounds. But more than the money, it is the experience. Cutting down a bunch of bananas you grew yourself is one of the coolest things you can ever do as a gardener. Bananas love growing in containers because you can give them exactly what they need: rich soil, consistent water, and warm conditions. They're tropical plants. So in colder areas, you bring them indoors for the winter to let them go semi-dormant, then move them back out when it warms up. The container makes all of this possible. And here is an extra bonus with banana. After the main stem finishes fruiting, it dies, but new baby shoots sprout from the roots. You can separate these pups and plant them in new pots, and suddenly you have several banana trees. Give them to friends, keep them for yourself, or yes, even sell them. Banana trees are in high demand. All right, I promised you a bonus trick, and this one is a big deal. The secret to making all these container fruit trees perform even better. Almost no one talks about it. And it is mulch. Put 2 to 3 inches of wood chips or straw on top of the soil in your containers. This one simple thing does 3 things that will change your results. First, it regulates soil temperature, keeping roots cooler in summer and warmer in winter. Second, it holds moisture in the soil, which means you water less often and your trees experience less stress. Third, it slowly breaks down and adds organic matter to your soil. I started doing this 3 years ago, and my potted tree production shot up immediately. It is such a simple, almost free thing, and the results are ridiculous. Call a tree service company and ask if they have wood chips. Most of them will give them to you for free because they want to get rid of them anyway. So there you have it, 10 fruit trees that thrive in containers, save you a ton of money, and give you fresh fruit that tastes way better than anything from the supermarket. Whether you have a tiny balcony or a big patio, you can absolutely grow your own fruit without spending a fortune. If this video helped you, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Leave a comment and tell me which tree you are going to start with. I am genuinely curious. Thank you for spending time with me today. Gardening friends, now go out there and grow something amazing. See you next time.